I'm ready to rock UX design industry. Oh no, they gave me a Nerf gun.
The industry wins again.
Okay, we need to talk about this. What is the one thing that is preventing a junior designer from getting their first industry job? Okay, I was looking through another 100+ junior portfolios, talking to those junior designers and looking at their online activity, and it hit me. It literally hit me. Most of those struggling to get their first UI job have one thing in common. Well, we're waiting. I wanted to be sure. I checked in with level 4 and level 5 UI designers, still juniors, and sure enough, most of them got their first job within 3 to 5 months from starting their portfolio. So is it UI design skills? Well, people buy with their eyes, so making the best possible first impression is super important, but you know what, that's not it, because that's a given. You really need to have those good UI skills. So maybe it's your portfolio, it has to be good, it has to have those long case studies and check all the boxes. Nope, that's also a given. It's really important to have a good portfolio that really showcases your work in the best possible way. Well, I covered all of those things already, both on this channel and in my courses. But there is one thing I haven't told you about yet, and it starts with the letter F. Can you take a guess? Okay, let's stop here. You all know how I feel about Figma, and many people will instantly think that, oh yeah, Figma is blocking designers from success. Well, not exactly. I'm talking about FOMO, or fear of missing out. I noticed that a lot of designers, and that really goes into thousands, save into Notion documents or their personal libraries things like 10 new AI tools to revolutionize your design, or how to handle design tokens in Figma. And they often do it even if they're not really making a design system, and very often they don't even try to actually use those things. They're saving it for later, just in case, because you know, eventually that might be useful, right?
I'm gonna save it for later.
And there is a new trend in shorts and reels of pointing at things like, you can't believe what you can do with this thing, and this thing makes your designs 5 times better, and you really can't start designing without this. Designers often also come across and save things like these. Yes, this one is from my account, but there are many of those out there, and most of them don't have any context. They don't specify the grid value, they don't give you a hierarchy breakdown of those spacings, they just throw some numbers at you and you figure it out. So you see a complex screen like that, and some numbers, or more numbers, or even more numbers everywhere. Save it. If you don't, you're probably gonna miss out. It might be useful at some point, it might be useful tomorrow, it might be useful for your career. And while you're at it, save this complex Figma animation tutorial too. You're probably not gonna do it, you know, because the 30-second tutorial reel was a bit too vague for you to actually follow it, but it does look cool, doesn't it? And it might be useful. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe a week from now, it might be essential for your portfolio. So save it. And all of this cognitive overload of FOMO-induced actions is making junior designers lose focus. Instead of saving millions of articles and posts and little videos and 30-second tutorials, you should be doing something else. What you should be doing is not about consuming all of that designer content, often from some unreliable sources, and then saving it for later. Because you know, it's very easy to save for later and then never return to it. What you should focus on is actually, you know, learning design and practicing those skills every single day. You need to get those design fundamentals deep into your brain, and they're often not as flashy or not as cool as all that content that you've been saving for the last few months, but they are really essential. What they are is the foundation of a true skill. I'll practice design daily. And non-reflective, automatic, saving for later, you know, kind of just in case, is only gonna occupy more of your brain. You probably don't need a tutorial to animate that fancy website header or possibly even that spacing breakdown when you don't understand what those numbers mean. Have you noticed this obsession in yourself or in others? Let me know in the comments. So if you're planning to win at this game, you really need to focus on only saving the stuff that you're actually gonna use and learn from. Unless...
Haha, you missed me.
No, I didn't. Hopefully I don't even have to mention that they need to be from a trusted source that actually works in the industry. That should be a given. The best materials shouldn't just tell you how to do something, but also focus on the why. Why is this spacing double of that one, if we're still on the UI design part? And many of these tutorials don't really explain that at all, so you just save it, fill your head, but then you really have no idea how to use it. And if you just copy and replicate it, you're replicating something without knowing why. Saving and liking things all around you is not gonna make you into a great designer. Find a couple of good sources to learn from and yeah, well, you know. And then work on those designs every single day like a maniac. Work on them after hours, work on them in your free time, work on them instead of watching some stupid TV show. Just do the work. There are no hacks. There are no shortcuts, because all that abundance leads to decision paralysis. If you have a million saved posts and a million tutorials, you have no idea where to start. And that is slowing you down. So it's clarity, vision, hitting the subscribe button just in case, and obviously having a beautiful day.